Hey there YouTube, this is SGM4306 back with another product review. This time it's another pair of true wireless earbuds. I love this kind of style of earbud. They're pretty small. I love the size, the portability, and they've gotten actually a lot better kind of recently. Well, recently-ish, within the last few years. The earlier versions of these kind of true style earbuds tended to be, they didn't usually sound good. They were the battery life was pretty terrible. Now it's like the opposite. Now they're all like, even the very cheap ones are like perfectly serviceable as earbuds. So yeah, I'm expecting these should be interesting. These are a slightly different style. The ones I usually get, like these Super EQ Pro 2s, which are like my everyday carry, everyday use pair of earbuds. They have these silicone tips that seal inside your ears. These are the exact opposite. And there are a couple situations where I can't wear those earbuds for like safety reasons. I need to be able to hear what's going on around me. So these are not bone conduction, though they kind of look like they might be. They actually are just kind of open ear, but they have like a ported speaker that is aimed towards your ear canal so you can hear the music, but you could still hear everything else going on around you. These should be pretty interesting. So yeah, the brand is Truefree. Just to disclose, these were provided free for review purposes. However, I will be reviewing these as if I spent the around $60 price tag that these are coming in at. And so yeah, you can see here it says one wireless earbuds. Is that like model 01, I think is what they're going for. And over here you can see 16.2 millimeter dynamic driver, 45 hours playtime. This has a massive like battery charger case. So yeah, that's actually pretty impressive if it can hit that. And I believe each earbud does like 9 or 10 hours off one charge. So that is pretty impressive. And it says dual mic for noise cancellation. They do not have active noise cancellation because, like I said, they don't plug into your ears. They just kind of go around your ears. So some specifications: Bluetooth 5.3, working distance 10 meters. Every Bluetooth device says that. Playtime around 10 hours or 45 with the case. And that's interesting. They give you specifications of the battery capacity. So here it's saying 60 milliamp hours for each earbud, which is actually pretty large of a battery for wireless earbuds, and 700 milliamp hours for the entire case. So that's interesting. So yeah, other than that, we just got some contact information, FCC, CE certification, etc., etc. And yeah, I think that's it. So sound in heaven. Okay. So I guess all that is left for us to do is pop this guy open. So it's one of these slide out. Yeah, it's one of these slide out cases. So far, nice presentation. It just opens on the side here. And we have the earbuds themselves, which, yeah, this case is pretty chunky. If you're used to like small earbuds, these are not them. But then again, the battery inside here should be able to charge way more than small earbuds anyway. So we have the goodie bag box, maybe, if it wants to regurgitate its contents. Here we go. A super short USB-C cord, so thank God that it has USB-C. None of this micro USB rubbish. And the cord is, yeah, it's about like maybe 6-7 inches, so it's pretty short. Okay, and we have foam padding, very nice, to keep the buds safe in transit. We have the manual. So let's see how many pages it is just for English. Technically 7 pages, but the last page is FCC stuff, which kind of not particularly useful. And yeah, how to pair it, how to wear it, what each of the buttons do. Looks like holding it is on the left, and if you hold it for different amounts of seconds, I guess. And then like single press, double press, triple press. Okay, I see how it's doing. It's left or right. And then it's either single press, double press, triple press, or hold for 1.5 seconds. So holding for 1.5 seconds on the left or right looks like it'll track skip forward and backwards depending on if you're left or right. And triple tap there's a low latency gaming mode, and on the left, and then on the right it'll turn on your voice assistant, it looks like. And double tap will play pause on either one of these or hang up or answer phone calls. And single tap does volume control. Yes, I love earbuds that do that, that have built-in volume control so you don't have to take out your phone to adjust the volume. That's really cool. I am liking that. Okay. And yeah, Q&A, blah, blah, blah. Has 3 LED indicators to show you what the remaining battery life is. And yeah, unfortunately, I don't believe this has wireless charging in the case. That would have been a nice, especially since the case is so big anyway. It would have been nice to have that in. But yeah, at least it has USB-C. I'm happy with that at least. Okay, here it is. It is a matte finish, very nice. So this isn't gonna fingerprint up like crazy. The tolerances, it feels a little sharp edge, so maybe the molding's a little bit cheaper. It's not horrible though, there's not a massive mismatch in the seam. Plastic quality flexes, yeah, it flexes a little bit. It's a bigger case, it's gonna flex a little bit. But yeah, I wouldn't be worried about this putting this in your pocket or in a backpack. Feels like the plastic will withstand. Does have a plastic hinge though, time will tell whether that'll fail. USB-C port in the back, it's recessed a little bit. Cord here. Fits in no problem though. It's nice and tight now because it's brand new. We got our 3 LEDs in the front. It looks like they do have light pipes in them, so that's nice. Little finger catch with a magnet. The magnet's not super strong, so if you drop this, it probably will very easily open and the earbuds will fly out. So not super strong magnet to keep it closed, but it does have a hall sensor though, so that when you open and close it, it wakes it up and tells you how much battery is remaining. And we got our earbuds themselves, which are in this glossy plastic inset areas here. There is a button here. I believe this is for forcing it to pair. And yeah, and it's just matte on the inside. What I like to do with my earbuds is put a one of those NFC stickers. I'll put one right in the middle here so that when I put my phone on top of it, it will auto pair. I'll program the NFC tag with the Bluetooth address of each earbud, and that makes it really easy to it'll turn on Bluetooth on my phone and auto establish a pair. So that's actually really nice to be able to automatically connect to different devices, especially when you have many different earbuds. That's a very interesting thing. There's a plateau with where the contacts are, where the earbuds sit, and yeah, got decently nice strong magnets, not super strong, but yeah, these are easy to get out and put in. They are part glossy and part matte. That's actually really interesting aesthetic. You can see the logo is not too in your face, but it's pretty subtle. I like that. They look very nice. And you have porting here, I guess for the mic as well as for the speaker, and then there's another port for another mic. And then the actual, I guess, where the battery is located. Battery is probably located here. This is all speaker and circuitry. There's a protective film for the actual charging contacts and the speaker hole there. And that just sort of rests near your ear hole. I'm going to take off this charging protective film. This is just so that the battery case doesn't keep charging the earbuds while it's in transit. So that would drain the internal battery and possibly damage it. So once we have those off, you can see here, gold contacts. And they just sit on, and it looks like, oh, that's interesting. The one earbud has an LED, the other one does not. And here you can see this blinks red and white, depending on what state it's in. And so that's the pairing mode, I guess. I shut it. Oh, no, they both have LEDs. Wow, they're actually hidden LEDs. I didn't see a hole for it, but yeah, they both have them. And that's actually really nicely done. That's subtle. I like that. But yeah, so if I just close this for a sec, they both go into charging mode and they both light up red. But as soon as I open it, within a second, they start trying to pair to each other as well as to a phone. But yeah, so I guess there's nothing left to do but actually give these a shot. I'll run these in for at least a week or two, use them as my everyday earphones, and let you guys know how they work, how they feel, pretty much, the usual rigmarole. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so I am back. I've been using these as my everyday wireless headphone sort of thing that I use between my laptop at work as well as my phone, my tablet, etc., etc. So, my findings on these. I guess if you just want to get right out of the way, these are probably one of the best for my general use type situation. These are probably the best pair of true wireless earbuds I've ever used so far. So it comes down to a couple things that are specific to my use case that might not be true to everyone else. So first off, I work kind of split between in like an office like setting and on a manufacturing floor. So on the manufacturing floor, there are times when I'm not allowed to have anything in my ears for safety reasons, obviously. And so these being this kind of open ear design works really well for that. So these kind of partially cover your ears, but they don't actually seal. So these are pretty much like having a speaker, an inch from your ear, pumping out music, but also any other sound you get in your ears. So I think these are definitely like the most comfortable things, audio type thing that I put on my ears, not necessarily in my ears. That's sort of my biggest downside for most true wireless earbuds is no matter how comfortable they can try to be, there's just a limit in terms of once you start sealing air into your ear by using like a silicone tip or something, your ear kind of gets a little like moist, I guess for lack of a better word, and itchy after a little while. These have none of that. I could wear these, I have worn these for like 8 hours straight. And whether or not I was listening to music, I just left them on my ears and left them connected to Bluetooth. And when I wanted to continue listening to something or watching something, I would just, pick up my phone or laptop and just play some music, watch a YouTube video, whatever. And they worked really nice for that. I've never had any connection issues with these. They seem very solid, with the exception once you start getting like far enough away, like 40 plus feet, then yeah, you're going to have dropouts and whatnot. But that's inherent to Bluetooth, not necessarily just these. In terms of comfort, they're like a 99%. There's one little thing that I think they could do to make these better. And so it's actually not the battery thing. You would think like having this weird battery thing behind your ear would be irritating, but it's not really. I have not found that an issue. It's my left ear, so this guy fits perfect, and like I could shake my head around like a madman, and it'll never feels like it's gonna fall out. The right ear, my right ear must be like a slightly different shape or size, because this earbud always kind of feels like it's not quite as secure. It's definitely not nearly as secure as the left one. So what I would highly suggest is these are just like rubber. Obviously, there are wires going through here. If they put one of those metal armatures that you could bend so that you could adjust this just always springs back to the same position. So you can't do it as it is currently, but all I'm truly suggesting for Truefree is to put a little piece of metal in here so that you can bend it to kind of permanently shape it into a position that'll better fit a wider range of ears. That should be easy enough to do. Touch sensing works okay. It has the same problem with every other true wireless earbuds. You can't see the point that you're trying to tap, so you always generally miss the first time, or if you mean to double tap, you'll accidentally only do a single or a triple, whatever. So not much you can do about that other than if they went to a tactile press, that might be a bit better, I think. I do appreciate that most of the parts of the earbud that you touch are matte plastic. They do have glossy plastic, though, here for the end and a little bit for accenting here. It's okay having the glossy there, but I would have preferred if the whole thing was matte. And as well as the inside here is all glossy, and the top and all the other surfaces are matte, but that shows like any kind of skin oils you get on here will show really easily on that. It kind of looks a bit gross, so maybe just go for all matte plastic. I think even though that might not look as sharp and as cool, long term it just looks cleaner. So I do like the single LED. It's very easy to know when these are on or not. If you place them down on a table to take them off momentarily, that you really never need to remove these. You could just leave these on your ears all day long. And like I said, I had these on for 8 hours. The rated battery life, I think, is somewhere around like 10 hours ish. And though I haven't ever used them in one sitting for 10 hours straight, I've definitely left them on for more than 8 hours, just connected to my ears, whether or not they're actually playing music or not. So I have little doubt that these would last quite a long while. The battery is pretty small, but it's actually kind of a decent size compared to the earbud itself. So yeah, I've no worries that this won't last to the rated like roughly 8 to 10 hour battery runtime. Sound quality. So they actually sound half decent. They're not amazing, and because they don't seal to your ear, you're not going to get like super punchy, strong bass. They sound pretty good though. All things considered, I think the stronger point for these are if you want to use them as like a teleconferencing headset. These are way more comfortable than any other kind of headset that you could put over or on your ear. They're way better than putting like a true wireless earbud with like a silicone tip. If I had to use that in like a call center scenario or where I'm going to be having like more than an hour web meeting, that would drive me nuts. But these, like I said, I can leave on all day and they're super comfortable. And so, yeah, these are really good for like long meetings, as odd as that sounds. I really like using these just to like listen to podcasts, audiobooks. Really good for that. It's okay for like games and music, but like I said, like given how small the drivers are in here, you're not going to get like super amazing audio quality. These are more about comfort and just like utilitarianness rather than like absolute sound quality. So yeah, the pricing on these, I believe last I checked, was about the 50-ish dollar mark, which isn't super cheap, but it's not super expensive too. And if you are going to use this, like you could probably get your company to write this off if you are going to use this to take web meetings and make phone calls and that kind of thing. So yeah, $50 doesn't seem horrible, honestly. And I'm actually thinking of getting a second pair of these. So obviously these were provided free for this review, but my mom saw me using these and she was interested in using them because she has, not to go too in depth into it, but she has hearing problems in her one ear, so she only really ever wears earbuds in the other, but she doesn't like the ones that seal because then she can't hear her surroundings at all because her other ear doesn't really work. So when I showed her these, they don't actually seal into your ears. So for her, that would be perfect. So anyway, overall, I rate these very highly. These are almost perfect for my needs. One thing that is a little bit weird is they do single touch changes volume, which I really like that they allow you to change the volume on the headset itself instead of having to go to the connected device. But it means that to do play pause, you have to double click and you have to hold the button to do track skip. So because each headset only has a single button, a single touch sensitive button, they have to kind of juggle a lot of different things, and it's implemented differently than a lot of other headsets. So I sometimes get confused and I forget what holding does and what double tap does, etc. But it's not like it takes more than like 30 seconds to figure it out. But given the size of these, it probably would have been easy enough to have just like an extra click, physical click button on the bottom here, where you can just grab it and click, or on the top. There are some like little vents and whatnot. I think like this is probably the mic. There's probably more than one mic actually, and then there's like a vent for like audio purposes, I guess, for like venting to try and get a little bit more bass and response. So that kind of brings up another thing that may be an issue, may not. These do sound leak a little bit. Not nearly as bad as some other kind of open ear design headphones that I've used before, but definitely if you're in a quiet room or a quiet office and someone is sitting like relatively close to you, they can kind of hear what you're listening to depending on the volume level. So that might be a bad thing. I don't know if you're listening to things that you don't want other people to listen to, but like I said, for like web meetings and stuff, no one is going to care. And especially if I'm out on the manufacturing floor, there's plenty of other like relatively louder noises in the ambiance that no one's ever going to be able to hear what you're listening to. So for my case, I didn't have a problem with these. I can, listen to audiobooks all day, and they're super comfortable. And yeah, so overall, almost perfect. Another thing is the case. So the case actually lasts pretty much forever. I charged this up the first time, and I've only ever gotten it down to like about 30%. It has three LEDs, so I only know roughly between like 30 and 60% when one light is left. And it took me like 2 weeks of like constant use every day and putting these back in the case when I'm done with them. But I didn't charge the case. And so, like 2 weeks of pretty heavy use got me down to one light left, which is pretty decent. So, I really only ever have to charge the case like once every 3 weeks ish. So, it almost lasts a month for me. And I do listen to, I use these like quite a bit. So, overall, definitely did a really good job. The case is relatively large, though, not super pocket friendly. That sort of isn't a great deal to me. I generally do not use these in my pocket. I throw these in my backpack or my desk drawer. So size isn't really that. I don't see how they could have made it much smaller, if I'm being honest, given the size of the earbuds themselves. So I'm okay with it, but if you're going to make a case that's chonky, put a wireless charging coil on the bottom here so that I could just stick this on the wireless charging pad on my desk. That would be really cool. Especially considering the price, just add like little extra features like that. I do appreciate that it has a USB-C port, but I don't always have an extra spare USB-C cable on me. So it would be nice to have wireless charging because I do have a charging coil on my desk that I use for my phone. So yeah. Anywho, once again, huge thanks to Truefree for sending this guy in for a review. These are definitely highly recommended. So if you have a use for earbuds that do not totally block your ears and have like pretty good battery life, in my opinion, like among some of the best in terms of these true wireless earbuds, then take a look at their product. I'll have links down below. And once again, hopefully, guys, you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.